Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everyone around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your boy, Crocodile. Get ready. This is going to be a very spicy deck list when it comes to OPO6. For those of you out there who are interested in Crocodile, this is one of my favorite leaders in the entire game, let alone characters in the series. Second to Doflamingo, of course. Anyway, I put out quite a bit of deck lists here when it came to Mono Blue Croc, and I'm very excited to explore this deck with you guys in OPO6. Speaking of which, this is my list from OPO5. There has been quite a bit of adjustments to go into OPO6 to combat the metagame. And we'll dive into it. I'll show you what I got cooking up, and let me know what you think about it. Because things will change, the meta is going to change, the ban restriction list is coming out, and we don't know what's going to happen. But overall, I tell you what, this leader in OPO6 has good matchups against some of the new leaders in the format, be it Perona, Sakazuki, with the ban restriction list going forward, depending on what they are. But other than that, let's dive into this list. I'm going to show you what I'm cooking up here. For those of you guys that don't know, we are going to be running 12 2K counters here. We keep the normal here when it comes to Kaya and Sasaki. We add in, I don't want to butcher this name, but we add in her as well here from OPO6. She has her uses on play, which allows you to make your opponent bottom deck a card from their hands if they activate an event, which is pretty solid. But it depends on what deck you're playing into for this to get a lot more value. When it comes to Uta, for instance, considering they play a lot of events, it's kind of a no-brainer. This card is pretty good into that matchup, but overall, it's just a 2K. Now, speaking of which, I play a lot of Queen, for those of you guys that know that. I'm a very avid control player. I have a lot of fun with this sort of thing. So when it comes to Doflamingo, X-Drake, Perona, it's a no-brainer that you must include it in this Crocodile list, considering you are running Sanji. Be it that you want to be able to stack your deck, that way Sanji can always get his effect off on play, which is very good for what it is. This card in blue decks is going to go nuts. I'm trying to tell you, this is a very strong card. And for you to be able to play down a Perona and then play down a Sanji into a Mihawk is absolutely crazy. What this allows you to do is you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a 9 cost, you play it down for free. So in this scenario, you drop down a Perona, then you play down the Sanji after you stack the deck. You get the Mihawk on the board. You bottom deck something. In this case, for instance, you bottom deck the Luffy or what have you. And you get 2 9 bodies on board with your leader swing ready to go, which is very strong. Let alone with Dofi, Perona, and X-Drake, you have a curve here in which you should always be able to see depending on what your opening hand is and how bad your mulligan might be. But regardless, you have a way to stack your deck at every given point in the game, which is going to be very strong for this leader and this combination that you are running with Mihawk and Sanji. On top of that, we are running a brand new card, which is Charlotte Pudding, and I cannot stress this enough how strong this card actually is. Please do not sleep on this, okay? Understand how this works. You're going to run into a lot of leaders in this format, and old leaders that have a pretty solid draw engine. Uta, for example, Katakuri, and Nell, considering they take a lot of life in the early game, they get access to a lot of cards, right? Be it a trigger or not a trigger, they're still able to take those cards and add it to their hand or what have you. Pudding, in this regard, allows you to control how many cards that they have and just play this whenever and make them put their hand back and shuffle them back in, which is really good. If you think about it, you draw a card with Uta every single time you swing. Let's be fair. And then when it comes to like Katakuri, for instance, they're dropping the puddings, they're searching out their 10 cost moms. You play down a pudding yourself, they have to shuffle those cards back in. You disrupt their curve, their tempo. It just does so many things for you. Please give it a shot. Let me know what you think about it. And then we're going to take a peek at Law here. Law was a card I included in OPO5. In the metagame, be it that you ran into a lot of red-purple Luffys and purple Luffy, Katakuri, which will always be here, in which decks would amass a lot of cards in their hands and or are very hard to get through when it comes to damage. This guy allows you to just rip a life from your opponent, especially in the Katakuri and Enel matchup, and they don't get to activate the trigger. You know what I mean? Or in the red-purple Luffy matchup, considering he has 3 life. At the end of the day, you rip a life away from him for free without even having to attack, which is really, really good. And it will do well as well into things like Bello Betty, anything that relies on getting triggers to get value. I think this card is going to do pretty solid in OPO6 here. Just be mindful, it does have no counter power, so that's another reason why we're running something like Gum Gum Rain. And we don't have that many cards in the deck that don't have counter power, but we have a few. So warrant a couple copies of this here. That way you have something to throw away if need be. And then we're taking 2 Sanji's Pilafs. This card can be swapped out. I kind of come at this list like I would play Queen or I would play Sakazuki. So you do have a couple options in which you can swap this out for something else if you need to. And I'll go ahead and, if I can find her here real quick. Oh, never mind. So you do have Hina, in which you can replace this with. You kind of come, again, you come at this with the mindset as you're playing Sakazuki a little bit in that regard. Because, you know, it's blue. It's both cards that both decks generally use. These are both draw engine cards. But overall, I prefer Sanji's Pilaf, considering the fact that you can stack your deck, right? So if you play down a Perona or a Dofi or an X-Drake or what have you, you could potentially put 2 triggers, or sorry, put 2 2K counters up next, play a Pilaf, draw both of those cards, and then have them ready to go, which is something that's really, really nice. In any case, we're running 3 Red Rocks, in which I think you guys are going to need this. It's staple. There's no debate. You need at least 3 to 4 copies in each deck. This allows you to control the board and remove anything in play. And I assure you, in OPO6, especially green decks, you're going to run into a lot of Kid, and you're going to run into a lot of Doflamingo. And of course, you're going to run into some other threats as well, such as Zoro and the Sanji, Yamato. This card is included. You must have it. And then Raging Tiger. Please do not sleep on this card. I started off with this card here at 2 copies, right? I didn't think much of this until I realized that how strong this card is into most matches into the format. And just for example, when you're playing into an Enel, what do they normally do every single time? On curve, without question. They ohm and holy you. Every single time. You have removal. Gravity Raging Tiger is going to allow you to remove so many cards in the format and allow you to get attacks in. Especially in the Perona matchup, in the Uta matchup. When it comes to Perona, because you guys are going to see this quite often as well, you have cards such as X-Drake, in which she can Ice Age a Sanji or a Mihawk, then rest your card with her leader effect. Play down the X-Drake and pop it. You have Raging Tiger to deal with the X-Drake after that if need be. You can use it to get rid of blocker laws as well. And then some really, really big cards in which she's going to play quite often is Ryuma. This card is disgusting, but again, Raging Tiger allows you to deal with that as well. There's just so many cards in the format in which you guys are going to need the tempo to keep up with, and I think this card does justice. It does so well. But overall, we're going to dive into some games.
Now, before we get into today's games, I do want to go ahead and say thank you to ACG Town for sponsoring this video. This is one of the places where I come to look at certain anime, and when it comes to like apparel and all that sort of thing, this is one of the websites. It's actually pretty solid. They have some decent prices, let alone there's sales all the time for all of your favorite animes out there. One Piece from Demon Slayer to Honkai Star Rail. Not an anime, but it's something that everyone out there is playing right now. Genshin Impact, Jujutsu Kaisen, there's a lot of stuff here from Bleach, Fairy Tail, all that sort of stuff. They do clothing, apparel, all sorts of apparel, from 3D printed hoodies, which are actually really, really good. And we're not talking about like those generic hoodies or t-shirts you find inside of the mall that has just, you know, a random anime picture on it. No. These actually look really, really good, man. These look pretty fire. For those of you guys out there that work out and stuff and are interested in shorts, I picked up a pair of these recently, and they have that double layer aspect to them. I know it's something simple, and when it comes to phone cases, they range from a wide of different animes and mobile games and stuff, such as Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, all of that. But overall, Give this place a shot. Let me know what you think about it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Diving into one of our games today, coming at you guys playing into Katakuri, in which this is still going to be an uphill battle because this is yellow. Yellow generally has that advantage when it comes to playing Crocodile, but again, with all our new tools and our new cards here in this format, we should have a much easier time dealing with Katakuri, but we'll see how it goes. This is actually not bad to start off. Overall, Law might get some value here. We do get a couple 2Ks, and we do have a Perona. So we can always remove these cards here and put them back on the bottom of the deck if need be. In this matchup, though, X-Drake is kind of key, considering the fact he's a 6K, and you can just drop a 2K counter and protect out from Katakuri's leader swing, which is pretty nice. Just unfortunately, he was able to get Satori off the first trigger, which I feel happens a lot for, yellow decks, but what are you gonna do? He's got 4 Dawn left. I assume he's gonna probably play down a Pawseplays maybe, or a Sanji blocker here. We'll just take it, it's fine. Okay. Now, playing into yellow, especially as Croc, I don't want to take too many early hits early at least, because we know he has big moms, you know what I mean? I don't want to give him life for free, but at the same time I have to be mindful with how I expend my resources here. We're at 5 Dawn. Let's go attack into this as well and see if we can try to get some cards out of hand, which we do. So we get a Veggie. Let's play down another Doflamingo. That's not what I wanted to see. We won't get value here with Law as well. Let's go and put them at the bottom. Usually that might have been something I wanted to keep, but again, with Law, double Peronas in that stack, we don't need them. We don't need them right now. Bro, the fact that you had a second Gadetsu, seriously. We could counter out, but he's just going to attack that probably with Satori. I don't think it's worth it here, even though we have quite a bit of 2Ks. I'll counter out this one, and then we'll just take the leader swing. I really wanted to throw away the Miss All Sunday, but I think she might have a little bit of value here, depending on what our events can be. Let's go and counter this out as well. Alright, another Sanji blocker. Or, not blocker, but yeah, you know what I mean. Alright, so we're at 7. Let's go 7K into Satori. Or Sanji, sorry. Alright, get that out of the way. We'll play down X-Drake. Nice. This is lovely. Alright, hold up. We're at 7. Let's rearrange this a little bit. I don't necessarily mind seeing the pudding here, but I do want the Mihawk. I definitely want the Mihawk here. In case he does get another blocker on board, we have the Mihawk if need be. Let's do it like this. Miss All Sunday, if we need it, can pull back the Gum Gum Rain, which allows us to, survive a leader swing again if he only attaches 1 Dawn. Let's take this hit. Set a 7, so he'll probably swing Gadetsu with 7 as well. Yep. This kind of sucks, but we have to do what we gotta do. I can't really burn these 2 lives just yet. He's almost a 10 cost mom. Oh, we actually decided to go 8K. That sucks. So 3 Dawn left. This is probably a Pawseplays. Yep. Alright. What can we do here? We can go 5 here. We can play down the Sanji, get the Mihawk, bounce this, and then we can leader ability to get rid of the Pawseplays. That way we slow his attacks down. And now we hope he doesn't have Big Mom here. Although going 5K wouldn't really matter because we just block out with X-Drake. Okay, that's a lot. We'll block out here. Yep, Paro back down. And now we just be aggressive. because we don't have any other forms of blocks here outside of Miss All Sunday. But I need to get some attacks in, so we're going to go ahead and do that first. At the very least, just in case of a Thunderbolt. Okay, 6 cards. Oof. I could potentially drop Law here as well, but I think that'd be a little bit too greedy. So let's just go 9 again. I think we have game. Like 100%. None of those were triggers either. Okay, never mind. Sparrow. Let's bottom deck, or sorry, return 1 to hand again. We'll play Miss All Sunday. We'll pass the turn. So, if he decides to drop Big Mom here, I think he still loses the game, unless one of these triggers is going to be a Veggie or another blocker. What was that? What did he do? Okay, Onami. Oh, Thunderbolt, sorry. Alright. Oh, he's risking it, boys. We gotta guard out of this one. He gave me back the Gum Gum Rain. That was a little bit silly. But alright. I will look for some new decks too, I promise, alright? We're gonna try to play against a mixture of decks today. We'll probably play like 4 games. So this one, what was your last one? Was it a Nell? No, Katakuri. Yeah, we play Katakuri as well. So we'll probably do like maybe 2 or 3 more games, depending on what our matchups are going to be. I'll look for something like an Uta, Yamato, Gecko Moria, all of that nature, if we can find them. But we'll see. I do want to show you, though, how strong this deck can be into Perona. So that is something that we are going to be hunting down today, at the very least. Let's just go 5 to face here real quick. Nice. Let's get a Dofi down. This isn't bad, but it's not what I want to see. I don't really need any of these cards right here, to be honest. So let's put them on the bottom. I know that seems crazy, but we do have 2 more searchers here in hand, so I'm not really worried about it too much. And realistically, Dofi's probably going to get bottom decked, but probably not this turn. I think we'll be okay. There's no shot he plays like a Gordon down and then does it. That'd be a little bit silly. Okay, never mind. I spoke too soon. Gamma Knife. I mean, I get it. He gets bodies, but he should have attacked me first for 7k. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that makes sense. He should have attacked me for 7k there, and then activated the ability, but eats the run. Alright. So we do get a Mihawk here, which is really, really good now. Let's go 5 to face. We have an opportunity of playing X-Drake here, but I'm not really worried about it all too much. I was hoping he would take that hit, to be fair. So I wanted to play down Pudding here. So I guess I can just go ahead and do Perona, and that's it. Ooh. Raging Tiger is going to be pretty strong here. Considering that he plays a lot of cheap bodies in this deck, I can just go ahead and bottom deck them at will, anytime. I do have to be mindful, though, of Reiju, just in case, he decides to draw a lot more cards. I think this will work. We can draw into the Raging Tiger, and then in the following turn, we can draw into the Pilaf, in which we can play that to get the 2/2Ks. So we're Pudding. That way we can mess up his tempo. He's got 4 Dawn active right now. I'd assume he would just bottom deck my Perona and then play something else out from hand, but that would seem a little bit silly to me, especially doing that to a Perona, you know what I mean? You don't want to use Law's effect too many times in the early game, because it kind of sets you behind tempo-wise. But what do I know? Maybe he's going to do it anyway. I don't know. He does play Wire, So that combination between the two is really, really solid. Allows him to draw and trash one card from hand at the very least with Wire's ability. What did he draw? Okay, a Beppo. So he's gonna play Beppo down, right? Just thinking real hard here. But in any case, this pudding though, man, I'm trying to tell you guys, she's so good. Just so good. Oh wow, it's another penguin. Fair. You trash the killer out of hands with Wire's ability. Fair enough. 5k to face. We can take it. Not really feeling like, threatened. Because now he goes up to 5 Dawn the following turn here, and we're at 7. So let's go in Raging Tiger here, get rid of both of those cards. I can bottom deck the Wire, but there's not really a need to. Oh, he gives me a counter anyway. Cool. Alright, so we go up to 9 Dawn next turn. I don't have to rush anything. We can take it slow, if need be. He's starving right now when it comes to cards in hand and resources. There's the Beppo. He does get a free Dawn. It comes in rested. Beppo's effect. I do have an idea, though. I'll probably remove the Beppo from play back to hand with my leader effect. Not this turn, but, probably the turn after. Unless we draw like another Raging Tiger or something. Alright, 3 cards left. Law is struggling right now. Oh yeah, I forgot we get a peel off. Let's do peel off instead. That way we can get our 2/2Ks. We still have 6 Dawn to play with. So realistically, I think we should attach 1 Dawn to Pudding to get an attack in, and then attack with Leader here as well. Oh, this is perfect though, because we did get the Mihawk here. Alright, so we'll draw into the Missile Sunday, and then we'll Sanji the Mihawk on board. And then that should be game. Because now we can just go 5 and then go 7. Oh wow, okay. Does she take both these hits though? Is that the play? Nice. We'll pass it up. So depending on what he plays down on board, we'll just Mihawk it, and then I'll use my leader effect to remove whatever else is left. If he decides to play down like a blocker, another Wire, or what have you. He actually has Dawn now, so he can actually do a couple things. Just not much that's going to save him right now. I really think that Pudding kind of messed up a lot of his plays, and the fact that he decided to leader effect willy-nilly. And he didn't seem to draw into any Reijus, unless he already had some before and Pudding just messed it up, but I don't know. Alright, so he plays down a Kid, which is good, especially on curve here, which is pretty strong. But the fact that we can just play Sanji to counter out the Kid, because we know the Mihawk is coming next. Potentially, okay, 6k. Alright, never mind then. Let's go in for this. We should let this go. I have the counter in hand, but it's not worth it. I'd have to attach 2 Dawn to her the following turn to get an attack in. You know what I mean? Whereas just all I have to do is put 1 Dawn on leader to get a swing. A 2k counter out of that. Alright, so he's activating leader effect. He lost 3 Dawn for what? Potentially a blocker Law, maybe? Okay. Alright. Question mark? Yeah? A little weird. I wonder why he did that. Anyway, we'll just Mihawk that. We will go 5 into Beppo. And then I'll use Dofi to go 5 into Beppo again. If he decides to block these out, we'll just put it back to hand with Crocodile's effect. And the cool thing about that is he won't gain Dawn from the Beppo being replayed down on board, considering the fact that he will be more Dawn than I at that time. Because we lose 4 Dawn activating leader effect here. Right? Yeah. Quick math. Because he goes up to 7. Then we'll pass it up. Right, 4 cards left in hands. He's at 7 Dawn. I'm pretty sure we just go 9, 10, and then 12 for the following turn here. Like quick math, right? I think that's right. Another Beppo. Yeah, 9, 10, and 12. And that should be game. Unless he's got like a Radical Beams in hand or what have you. But I don't think so. Alright, 8k into Dofi. I mean, he did his job. He blocked for me, right? So, that's fine. Thanks, buddy. Alright, get another Gum Gum Rain. I think we should just go for game. It's another 9k. Let's go 10. Let's just go 10. Yep. And then we'll just sack the rest on leader here and go for game. But overall, not bad. So far we're doing pretty good. There's no shot. What are you doing? Oh, he actually did have the law. Crazy. Now, I've played this match a handful of times, okay? This is a tough match when it comes to Crocodile. It's the fact that this deck can get so many bodies on board. If you do not see Raging Tiger, it can set you back so much. Due to the fact that you don't really want to, like, kill the units. Because they go to the trash and then she can activate her effects and all that sort of thing. You just want to bottom deck them. To the best of your ability. So being able to play down your Peronas, your X-Drakes, your Dofi, they're going to be key in this match to allowing you to see Raging Tiger. Or 3000 Worlds. Or what have you. But mainly Raging Tiger. Because it allows you to remove so many early game pieces. Which stops the deck from tempoing. And allowing them to get bigger bodies on board. Another very, very strong card in this matchup is definitely going to be Pudding. Because they draw a lot of cards here with this deck. Speaking of which, that hand is already insane. They already have a book. Alright, so this is their stage. For those of you guys that don't know, it's actually pretty good here. They actually get rid of a Reju with the stage effect. Which isn't bad. We'll take a couple early hits. Ooh, speaking of which, love to see it. Let's go. Speaking of Raging Tiger. I'll take this one too. I'm not playing yellow, guys. Okay, we're playing blue here. That doesn't normally happen. And those are the only 2 in the deck. That's crazy. Well, we just drew 4 cards, so that's awesome. So she's going to get powered up. Yep. Still has 8 cards in hand here. Let's just drop a Pudding. I don't really think it matters in this regard. I think if we would attack, she would have blocked out the Reju. Let's try it. Let's go 6k to face. I don't care about the board here. Simply because we're just going to remove it next turn with Raging Tiger. Because we go up to 7 Dawn here. So. Was that Sora? Alright. Blah, blah, blah. Alright. 5k. I could block. Which is probably smart, but let's just take the hit. Law could be pretty good here in this matchup. To be fair. But I think it just gives them more pieces to just play bigger bodies on board. So I have to be a little bit mindful if I'm decided to play him or not. She might just go, yep, 6, and then play, the one with the green hair. I always forget his name. Yeah, Yanji, my bad. Okay, we're looking good. Unless she has one in hand. What are you doing? Ooh. Maybe she did have one in hand before, but forgot about it with the Pudding, or I'm not sure what she was doing there. Either way, Raging Tiger should clear board here, so that's fine. 4 cards left, 5 Dawn active. We should be pretty good. is we go up to 9 Dawn next turn. And in this case, we can actually get rid of the 7-cost rush unit. The one with the red hair. There's so many of them. I'm sorry. All right, we're not gonna go about this today. So it be what it be. He's scary. All right. Speaking of which, cool. Guess we actually have to start getting rid of some of our cards here soon, or at least get some blockers down on board, because he's gonna be a problem. Let's do the thing. I decided to hold the pudding here just in case. Okay, never mind. We're fine. Let's get the Mihawk down, get rid of that. Let's go 5 to face. Then we'll just have to pass it back because we can't attack with pudding yet. I need another Dawn. I've also noticed this deck here doesn't run a lot of counters, which is really good for me. Because my attacks are just, I generally just go 5 to 7 most of the time with Crocodile, so I don't think we need her, so this will work out. Alright, so she's going to play that from trash somehow, some way. Try my 6/6. Cool. Of course you had one in hand. We got to take the hit here. Not bad. Another Raging Tiger could be pretty useful. Yep. You gonna mess up again, or are you good this time? Nice. Alright, good. I really need to set up for my Sanji play, but let's just go ahead and go 9 here. Nice. Let's go ahead and stack the deck. Hey look, another Mihawk. Love to see it. Let's draw this first, and then we'll go Mihawk next. This will work out. No, wait. Yeah, this will be fine. I kind of want the 2K though, but that'll be alright. Just in case she plays down Judge here soon, having the Red Rock would be pretty good here in this matchup. Let's go 7 to face here. We'll go 7 again. Wow, okay. I didn't think she was going to take both hits, but alright. Alright, Neju. Another 5. We could block out with X-Drake, but I'm a little bit nervous just in case she does have the Rusher. Because I would have liked to keep the pudding, and she did. Awesome. If she goes for Mihawk here, we'll block out with X-Drake. I kind of need him to go for game. I mean, not really, considering we're about to get another one with Sanji, but... Okay, so she did get a blocker here. Which is okay, because we have the answer for it. Oh, she's going 9K here. Alright. Yep, we'll block out. We could keep him alive, but there's not really a need. Oh wait, never mind. Quick math. No, we can't. That would be 909. Okay, so Yanji comes down. And we have to deal with that. So let's go ahead and drop Sanji, get the Mihawk, the bottom deck that. This might be a little greedy. Like, this might be way too greedy, but I think we can possibly go for game here. Okay. I'm just going to go for it. Try to get as much damage in as I can. I probably should have attacked him. Like, realistically. But I think we can survive. We've got enough counter in hands, depending on what our life is here. But really, though, we should have probably attacked into him with Mihawk. That definitely was the better play. So what I did right here was very, very risky. As long as she doesn't have another rusher, we should be okay. She's going 7. This is Gum Gum Rain, the law. She has 7 Dawn here. She can definitely do it. I mean, I guess even if she does play another 7K body, she doesn't have enough power, right? We'll take the hit. I have no choice, really. Nice. All I needed was something that gave me a little bit of combo power here. We should have been fine. Does she have the rusher, though? Ooh, wait, she doesn't. Because remember, we bottom decked it with Mihawk earlier? Yeah, we're good, boys. We got there. This should be game. Unless it's in hand. Please no. 5. Okay, good. That's over then. It would only have been 7k power, so we did have at least 8k in hand. So that's good. Stab into another one, boys and girls. Realistically, though, I probably shouldn't keep this hand. But, I'm feeling a little greedy. We have the Raging Tiger. We have double Perona. We should be okay. We are playing into a slower deck, be it green, you know, but I'm not really worried about all too much. They do play a lot of Borsalinos and blockers, so we can return them back to hand with leader effect if need be. And Raging Tiger should be able to control this game just by itself. Let's go 5 again? Question mark? There's no way she lets this go through, but I don't think she'd give up Rosinante so early. I mean, maybe she would? I mean, you got 6 cards. Oh, okay. Alright. That is huge for us, by the way. Like, that right there probably just won the game. I know that sounds crazy. But with the amount of control this deck has, we're going to be able to remove the blockers that she decides to put down on board. You better be attacking me with that 7k. Don't even. Good job. Let's go and take this hit. We get a red rock. Let's bottom deck the Rosinante. So we don't have to deal with that. You would have another one. Alright, fair enough. Alright, so we go up to 5. I'm thinking we drop Pudding here. Let's go 6k to face. There's no way she takes this hit, right? Cool. Let's Pudding and pass it up. Just the fact that you're able to do this just disrupts so many plays your opponent was going to make. You know what I mean? Now they have to try to formulate another strategy with the random cards that they had in their hand that they didn't have in the beginning of the game. So it does a lot of work for it. I'm trying to tell you. Alright, 7k to face here. Let's go and take the hit. We get a Law. Law could actually see some value. Okay, Ryoma. Or Ryuma, sorry. Sanji off that. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and Raging Tiger this real quick. That way we don't have to deal with it. Because I would have hate to have the Ryuma stick on board. Okay, there's a soldier. So she is looking to get a bunch of removal and probably try to just remove my units that way if she's running soldier in the deck. We haven't seen any Ice Ages yet or X-Drakes, so I do know some lists are a little bit different. I mean, I use them in mine, but you know, each their own. I just assume that she's going to probably start removing my cards here on board. I don't want to flood the board here with like blockers early, such as like Miss All Sunday and Doflamingo right now. I want to take this a little bit slow. She's got 6 Dawn left. 7k into Corona. Crazy, but alright. You got it. There's a Borsalino. 2 Dawn active. Potentially Punk Gibson, maybe? I mean, I've seen some lists, boys. I have. So it's a possibility. We do have Sanji Mihawk combo for next turn, so that we could potentially remove the Borsalino, which is pretty good. I do need the red rock though, because Moria and or what's the other one? Doflamingo could possibly be coming up here soon, and I definitely don't want to deal with them. If we go 8k, it's a possibility we kill the Borsalino here. Let's go ahead and just go 10. This way it's guaranteed. Or, you know, she takes the damage. Yep, cool. Well played. Let's get down Nico Robin. Or sorry, Miss All Sunday, my bad. And then she should be able to give us back Raging Tiger. Okay, about time you use your leader ability. Crazy. You got it. We know we have another Red Rock coming soon, so. Oh, man. Little does she know, though, we are ready for this. Let's go ahead and bottom deck the Borsalino. Let's go 2k to Soldier. And then we'll do 6k to Face. And then our next draw should be Red Rock, which is really, really good here in this scenario. We can just bottom deck the Gecko Moria on the following turn. And we actually don't have to take the hit if we don't want to, considering we have Gum Gum Rain here in hand. Alright, down to 1 life here. 1 Dawn active. Alright, we'll pass it up. Next turn, we'll go ahead and just remove the Gecko Moria. She's at 10 Dawn. She's definitely going to need some blockers here on board. Yo, speaking of which, I feel like this happens to me at least once a game when I play against Perona. I love that combination. It's so good. 6 Dawn kills pretty much anything in the game. That's nutty. Alright, what are you doing now? 6k to Perona, okay. A little bit silly, but alright. I guess in that sense she really doesn't want to give me more cards in hand, maybe? I'm not sure. Why aren't you attacking here? You would definitely attack here with Moria, right? Okay, never mind. Is she worried about me just attacking into it with Mihawk? Or... because that seemed a little silly. I mean, obviously she doesn't know that we stacked the deck here. So, there's that. I'm going to be a little bit greedy here and just go 9 and 9. If she has it, she has it. If not, then oh well. Let's go, boys. We got there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for coming to the end of the video, for sticking around with me through the whole thing. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this leader. I will continue to have a lot of fun with this leader in OPO6. I do hope you guys will give him a shot. Let me know what you think about this build setup. If you have something similar to this, let me know your thoughts and your opinions on what I have here. Something that I should try that I probably didn't cover. All that sort of thing. But speaking of which, we will talk about some other inclusions or cards in which that can be included into the deck that I didn't include in this particular build setup. In OPO5, for instance, I did run around with this card quite often because there are still Zoros out there, whether it's going to be in OPO6. Now, this card still does a little bit of work, but it's not as much as it used to. The trigger, though, is very, very solid. It allows you to bounce back cards, especially for things like a Nell and all that sort of thing. It can throw back a Gedetsu, it can throw back a Holly, but they can just play it back down with Ohm and all that sort of thing. So this doesn't get as much value as it does into decks such as like Zoro, you know, with the weenie attackers and all that sort of stuff. So we didn't include Dragon Twister this time around, but it's still a solid pick, be it that it's a 2 cost for 4,000 power, which is pretty good. 3,000 Worlds is another very, very strong card that you guys can include into this list if you haven't already. If you don't like Pilaf, of course, you can take this out to include 2 copies of this. You can cut down a Perona, you can cut down a Law, you can take out Law entirely to add in 3,000 Worlds if you want to. This deck has a little bit of wiggle room here, at least the way I've built this one up. But overall, this is what I'm going to be working with. I've been having a lot of fun with this one. I do hope you guys give it a shot. But either way, this has been Pawseplays. Remember, guys, smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe for future content when it comes to the channel. And I will catch you guys in the very next video. I think we're going to take a peek at Captain Kuro and or Yamato next. I haven't decided on which one I want to do. But needless to say, I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it. I'll see y'all later.